Hello and welcome to Goto My Mentor. My name is Susanth Kurunthil, and in this particular channel, I talk about career, especially in the software industry. So if you are an IT professional or software developer or anybody who works in the IT industry, so this channel gives you a lot of tips on how you can better yourself, how you can sustain yourself in the IT industry. So I talk about career excellence. I talk about so your career path, and then I provide quite a lot of information based on my experience over the past 3 decades. Okay, so please subscribe to this channel so that you will get you will get updates on the new videos whenever I'm putting one together, and then please click on the bell icon so that you will get notified when a new video is coming your way. Okay, now let's get started with today's topic. So today we are going to talk about excellence. So there's been quite a lot of questions that are out there, that ask, how can you be very good at what you do? Especially I talk excellence from an IT industry perspective or just this software industry perspective. So how can you be the very best? If you cannot be the very best, then so you will be mediocre, and then obviously mediocrity comes with a lot of challenges, especially when it comes to long-term employability, and then sustaining yourself in the industry could be difficult. So one of the things that you will have to strive for is excellence. You have to be the very best at whatever that you do. Whether it's software development, whether it's testing, whether it's project management, whether it's software selling, whatever it is, so you have to be the best. So how do you achieve excellence? So that's been a very, very interesting topic to me over a period of time. And in this particular video, I talk about what excellence is. So before we try to figure, or before we try to achieve excellence, let's try to understand what excellence is. Okay, so let's get started. So what exactly is excellence? Excellence is it's a measure. It's a measure of being very good. If you go to Wikipedia, this is the definition that you will find there. So it's basically a talent or a quality, and that is way better than what is so what you otherwise see. So it's way better than ordinary standards. And typically excellence is used as a measure of performance, so you always say that person performs excellently, or so that person's performance is excellent. So that is way beyond what is normal. And that is what excellence is. So when it comes to the IT industry, so when you say you are excellent, you'll be very good at either coding, you'll be very good at solving problems, you'll be adding a lot of value to your employer, and then, to the industry in general, as compared to everybody else. So strive for, that kind of a position all the time. You have to be the very best. And when we talk about excellence, so irrespective of the industry, irrespective of the domain, there is one name that you will always have to know. The person in this picture, hope you recognize him. He is one of the all-time best pole vaulters ever. His name is Sergei Bobka. And what is he good at? Or rather, what was he excellent at it? Obviously, pole vault. And the key thing is that this is the one person who broke the world record 18 times in his career. 18 times. And what is more interesting is that out of the 16 times he bet his own record. That means that he was considering himself to be the biggest competitor that he ever had. So if even if you are the best, you try to beat yourself all the time, and then that is the measure of excellence. So that is the reason why Any discussion about excellence is not complete without mentioning this person's name. Okay. Now, so the thing is that, you need to be the very best. And even if you are the very best, you need to strive for more. You need to beat yourself all the time. Okay. So that is why excellence is always a moving target. Uh, Beating the very best may not be that difficult, but sustaining at that level will be even more difficult. Okay, now when it comes to our industry, so we normally look at performance, So as I told you, excellence is a measure, or rather, excellence is discussed as a measure of performance. So normally one of the measures that always be, it's always used is how you compare with the expectations. So these are the measures typically that HR people talk about. You have an expectation set, and whether you are meeting the expectations or not. And here, you can see that somebody doesn't meet the expectations. Obviously, you know where they stand, and then you meet the expectations, and then consistently meeting the expectation. So if you really look at meeting the expectation, so I set an expectation on somebody, who works for me, and then, that person delivers it on time with quality and stuff like that. So I'm happy. So that means that the person is meeting the expectations. Now you take it to the next level, consistently meet. That means that every time we set an expectation, the person meets it. So that is a good measure, so that means that, so he or she is performing well. And now we talk about exceeding expectations. So for example, when you are exceeding the expectations, say I ask somebody to do something, and then, say for example, so somebody has to deliver, a project to me by the 15th. And assume that that person has delivered it on the 14th. That is exceeding the expectation. So I was expecting it on the 15th, but the person delivered it on the 14th. Let's not talk about the other measures. There are many measures like quality and stuff like that, but let's only look at it from a delivery time perspective. So that is exceeding the expectations. Okay, so that's great. That's fantastic. But when you really look at the next level, that is consistently exceeding the expectations. So this is where things will become very, very, very tricky. Assume that, I ask somebody to deliver it on the 15th, and then they deliver it on the 14th. Exceeded expectations, great. Next time I ask the same person to deliver it on the 25th, he or she delivers it on the 24th. So what that means is that exceeded the expectations again. Okay, so is it consistently exceeding the expectations? Yes, you are getting there. But what happens with this particular case is that, say, if it becomes a pattern, so every time you ask somebody to deliver something, they exceed the expectations, then the expectations will get reset. That means that the third time I'm asking the same person to deliver it on the 5th, and I expect the person to deliver it on the 4th. Okay, because he or she has already set that pattern, so the expectations moves up. Okay, and if the person delivers it on the 5th, that means that he has not met the expectations, since he has already set a pattern of exceeding the expectations. My expectations are getting reset. Okay, so that is why this is getting very tricky. So when you are exceeding the expectations, you need to expect that the expectations will get reset as and when you exceed them consistently. So that is why it's very, 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 very difficult to consistently exceed somebody's expectations, whether it's your own or whether it's somebody else's. But the moment you consistently do that, that is when you become excellent. And then that is when you internalize excellence. So there are those two keywords, exceeding and consistently. These are extremely important. Consistency is very, very critical, and similarly exceeding the expectations. Okay, so the moment you do that, so you basically catapult yourself to the next orbit when it comes to performance. Okay, so consistently exceeding the expectation has to be the mantra, and then that has to be the goal. It may not be very easy. It's a very, 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 very difficult thing to do. But the moment you understand that that is what excellence is, the battle is half won. And then now the job is to go for it. The job is to ensure that, you basically exceed the expectations of your manager, your seniors, whoever it is, and also you exceed your own expectations. And that is what excellence is all about. Okay, so great. So we will talk about how to get there in a different video, but hopefully you had an idea about, or rather you got a good understanding about what excellence is. So thank you very much for watching. So please subscribe to this channel for more videos like this, and in case you have questions or comments, whatever it is, put it below, and then I will respond to each one of them individually. Okay, thank you very much.